Welcome to Market Boys with Edmundo, Xzabko, and Andres.
Hello.
All right, so what we got cooking today? A lot of stuff going this weekend, huh?
So much is happening.
Xzabko, hit us up.
Insane. Well, stock prices are going down due to unfortunate war with Iran, and oil prices are spiking insanely because of that issue.
Well, no, it's not insane. It's totally logic that 20 to 30% of oil, refined products, and other oil products, they go through the Hormuz Strait, and the war affects exactly that neatly passage, and the Iranians have that part of the world under fire, and they are retaliating. So we have the 20 to 30% of the oil, let's say, not flowing out. Russians are happy, by the way.
I bet they are. But Trump said that he did a press conference and he said that China and Russia, he had a conversation with them and he said, hey, don't get involved. And, production is still happening and we will distribute the oil, but you got to come to us. That's interesting.
I didn't know that. Very interesting. The thing is that Russia is selling its oil through China, through India, through many other channels. And the price of oil up is more cash for the Russian treasury. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But for the rest, most of the products that are created, extracted, and transported from that area are going to Asia. Most of it. Let's call it Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, Korea, China itself.
North Korea.
North Korea is is making another of those bombastic statements, which you told me today, Andres. What was?
Yeah, they said that with a click of a button, they can place a nuke.
They can place a nuke. Well, I had a good friend, and he told me once something very interesting. Not having nuclear weapons keeps you out of trouble. And I say, why? Because some countries pursue nuclear weapons like Iran, North Korea. I said, because you become a target. The moment you launch or you try to launch one of those, you are erased from the face of the earth by whoever, China, Russia, us. Mm-hmm. The moment you become a threat, you become a target.
You become a major threat, right?
Well, see what happened now.
Now you have a big stick too, and that balances scales. And guess what? No one likes to share power, especially the big kahunas. Not many like to share.
How many countries have nuclear weapons?
That's a good question. I don't know. Let's look it up. It's like ChatGPT.
No, we don't need ChatGPT.
No, we don't.
United States?
I don't know. You asked the
Russia?
question. What's the answer?
China, France, Great Britain,
Russia.
India,
Pakistan,
and Israel.
No Russia.
Russia, yeah.
Yeah.
Russia has the
Absolutely.
second biggest arsenal.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
So, are they going to allow another guy into the club? That's the thing.
Indeed.
And
so the question why the Islamic Republic of Iran has been pursuing nuclear weapons since 1979. What's the reason?
Well, nuclear weapons give you leverage, gives you a lot of leverage. And if you are, let's say, financing terrorist groups like Hezbollah, like Hamas, creating instability in the region.
But they do that because they don't have access to those. It's a tactical way of maneuvering their purpose, right? Because of the lack of the nuclear weapons, so they're using different sexes, around like 12 different sects that they work with, and they move. But what is the main reason that they want to acquire that nuclear weapon.
When they want to protect their interests, which is the oil.
Power.
Right? That's their major money producer.
What do you think? It's
What
power.
they believe on.
They're talking about their religious beliefs.
What they believe on.
Well, they are Shia Muslims.
What
right?
what was that shaped their new state? What I mean, they dethroned the Shah, right? They kicked out the Shah, and the Shah left willingly, right? And for the last 40-something years, he's been from country to country.
The Shah is dead.
Yeah, but for 40-something years, he moved from country to country. He have an illness, right?
You're talking about the Egypt affair.
That was part of them that he had to move from a place in the United States.
Yeah.
But what was the center of destroying the Shah? Because Iran before 1978, 1979, it was a capitalist country. You had
Yes.
open borders, right? The Shah left willingly. He didn't fight back, right? He just was into exile. He went willingly into exile without putting another opposition. So why?
Why he left?
No, we know why he left, because the Ayatollah came in, right? Put a regime called the Belayat al-Faqih.
Yeah, complex Gordon knot. You know, when you're dealing with politics and world leadership, there's a lot of
The Shah left Iran because he didn't have any support. He left no support to do anything but to give up. And at that time, the administration of that time, Jimmy Carter,
right. There's a lot of moving parts.
was not willing to support the Shah. Also, it's famous that he couldn't treat his cancer in America because of the administration blocked it at that time.
Self-preservation.
He finished in Egypt making the treatment.
Right.
So the Iran ruling ideology, right, is rooted in the 12 Isha Islams. And the governance is the Velaya al-Faqih. With that sentence, I mean, the one who is above all the law, right, is the supreme leader. So the structure is not the governance, right, and the supreme leader is in the governance, no. It's the supreme leader, right, then IFRG,
It's a theocracy.
right, and from then the government comes in.
Yeah.
So, based on their belief, right, and the ideology or theology, you want to call it, is that in order for the Messiah to come in, or prosperity to come in, Israel has to disappear. So they have to fulfill the prophecy.
Interesting. Wow.
So that's the reason.
That's the ideological reason behind it.
Yikes.
That doesn't mean that whole Islamic is the same, right? But that's the ideological reason behind it.
Well, we know that in garrisons and when they start, they say dead to America, dead to Israel. We already know that. But as we were talking last week, the Western Christian world, those of Judeo-Christian traditions, and the capitalist world in general, we lost our grit, we lost our stomach. In the old times, and you might say, well, but these times are more pacific than the old times, which is true. If somebody tells you, I will kill you, you believe that person. So, in other words, let's say I'm a nation, whatever nation, Bambaristan, doesn't matter. And Bambaristan tells me, dead to you. Well, you have two ways of going. Make a protest in the United Nations, blah, 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 this and that, or believe it. Therefore, if you believe it, what do you do? If I believe that you want to kill me, what should I do?
Defend yourself.
Yes.
By any means.
So the point is, in this 21st century, did we lost the nerve? When a country says, dead to you, what do? You laugh.
Are you talking about from the point of the West?
I'm talking about
Western
from
civilization?
how we are not anymore reactive to threats because we don't take them seriously. We underestimate people that threat us.
I believe that we were. Now the action is being taken.
I totally understand. What I mean is what happened since 1979. This is not new.
No, a lot of false promises. A lot of false
But
promises.
that's the whole point. You have a regime that is screaming death to America since 1979. I mean, do we believe the threat or we don't believe the threat?
Oh, definitely they believe the threat.
Well, we didn't believe the threat, right, until it start expanding, right? Because it's the first word, right? So you don't. I mean, it's unwise just to react on everybody's opinion, right? The world we're in chaos. But as things are evolving, like to your point, right? It just take 40-something years because their message or ideology is like the anti-imperialism, right? They start not with the East or the West. They present Iran as an independent, revolutionary alternative. Okay, and with that, they emphasize supporting these like the oppressed, which is funny because it's an oppressing state, right? But they say, okay, we stand and we support the oppressed people. That was their similar to socialism, right? Nothing different, right? They say, oh, let's get rid of the rich and give it to the poor. We're for the poor, and they're not. It's just all these lies per se, right? And they start exporting what?
Well,
to
no.
Edmundo's point, they start exporting that revolution.
I cannot agree with you. You call them lies.
Of course you can. You're Argentinian.
For them, for them is the truth. For them is the truth. In other words, who wrote the Quran? Who wrote the Quran?
I can't tell you.
Well, depends.
No, it doesn't depend. It's the word of God, Allah. So they believe in that. Whatever is the case, you say to protect the oppressed. Your definition of oppressed is different
Well,
from
the
their
book is written,
definition
the book is written by
of oppressed.
Muhammad.
Eh?
The book is written by Muhammad.
Muhammad was an alphabet. He couldn't. He didn't do it. It's the word of God.
A human being had to write
Try to tell this to. I have a couple of Muslim friends.
If we wanna get
No,
technical.
but it's a claim, right? It's their claim. So it's the same thing if you ask the Jews, right, who saw the Torah, God. You ask the Christians, who are God. So I mean, that's a rhetorical question, right?
So someone had to
Depends
be a
on the
vessel
angle.
to write
Because your
God's word.
perspective of oppressed is different from the perspective of the regime in Iran or different governments and different places. See, for example, for the socialist, what is an oppressed?
Was it oppression?
What is an oppressed people? Oppressed person?
Someone-
Is somebody that is exploited by another human
Right,
being.
someone exploited.
For capitalism, is a agreement between two free people. I work for this money, these hours, blah blah, bada bing. It's a
And
free
what
agreement.
and what is your press for the Iranians?
You told me you were talking about this.
To oppress people, because they stand with imperialism. They have a shah before, right? So they say, well, we have to free other people, right? The oppressed are the ones under the regime. It's a different version of socialism. It's just the same thing, right? Giving it more romantic words. People can use very romantic words or eloquent words to say the same crap. That's what it comes down to.
Totalitarians always have the monopoly of the heart because they construct a utopia. It doesn't matter the sign, the religion, doesn't matter. It's an utopia. So they always win the heart. They never can cope with the logic. If you do numbers, they are impervious to numbers.
Same thing was in Cuba. Same thing was in Venezuela. You know, winning the heart of the. They call it oppressed. I call it naive. And I don't want to say uneducated, but they feed out of ignorance. Socialism, you know, all those things, they feed out of ignorance.
Wait,
But you don't know.
that raises a great point. Doesn't the people vote?
Okay.
And they feed out of ignorance. So we are assuming that a portion of the people is ignorant.
That is correct.
Can everybody vote?
That is correct. So let me influence the vote by manipulating or influencing ignorance. Let me feed the ignorance to my advantage.
Right.
So the Iran. I mean, keep going because I interrupt you. Sorry.
All right. So we we have the supreme leader, right? And then the spinal cord pretty much is the IRGC, is the spinal cord of the whole infrastructure. So they answer to the supreme leader or only. They don't answer to the chancellor. They don't answer to any political
You're
structure.
talking about
only.
the securities apparatus.
Correct.
You say
the structure, right? The structure.
So we're saying
talking about
basically, in other words, a dictator.
see
What
that.
Andres is talking is the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Those are the IRG.
What we're talking is that Edmundo needs to keep his hands in place because he's messing up with the cameras, guys. So,
Interesting.
yeah, very interesting. So, while I try to fix that, you guys can continue.
All right, so let's get back to
right, go
the very, very basis of what we were talking about, right? Right, boys?
Yeah.
So the Dow, okay, here's an article, right, by ABC News. The Dow Jones Industrial Average tumbled more than 700 points Tuesday as the U.S.-Israel war with Iran prompted a major sell-off. Now, that's insane. The price level marked a recovery from a deeper drawdown of more than 1,200 points earlier in the day.
Everything is money. I have a clip.
Yeah.
I have a clip for you, friends.
Okay.
Very, very interesting clip.
Money. Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, it makes the world go round. A mark, a yen, a buck, or a pound, a mark, a yen, a buck, or a pound is all that makes the world go around. That clinking, clanking sound can make the world go round.
Joel Grey and Liza Minnelli, Money, great movie, Cabaret, 1972. Everything is about money. You just talk the markets, how they affect. The markets are very, very affected by this today. But it's something of a novelty. There is one sector that didn't go down. Sorry, two sectors.
Technology?
No. Guess.
Defense?
I mean, I would think that oil went up, but I was looking at oil. It's very mixed.
Everything this morning was down.
Even treasuries was down.
Even treasuries was down this morning. Except two sectors.
Gold. Gold?
Petroleum, oil.
Well, I mean, some of the oil was down and some of the companies were up.
But the commodity, the oil itself, the barrel of oil was up because what I explained, 20-30% of the oil commerce goes through the Hormuz Strait.
Supplies and demand.
And what is the second sector? You won't believe it.
Guns.
Marijuana. Was the second sector that was not down.
That's insane.
So we can just go to the crisis like,
Right.
you know what I mean. Interesting market.
Yeah.
See, Korea, for example, went down at certain point 7.5%. So you have to understand that per every $100 that was in the Korean market, 7 were erased.
Ouch.
Panic. Even gold went down.
Yeah.
So there is a dislocation in the markets, but
It's temporary.
I'm
I don't
confident
see that
it's going to be corrected with time.
Well, anytime there's war, the stock market drops.
Well, let's talk about a little bit about that war because
I cannot agree with you.
You can't.
No.
he's Argentinian. He can agree with you.
It happens every time.
Sudan,
It's a track record.
more than 1 million dead people. All these years of conflict, the market didn't even blink.
When?
Sudan, South Sudan.
Okay.
South Sudan.
Against?
Tragedy against themselves.
Got
South
it.
Sudan against North Sudan.
Okay.
And the market doesn't blink. The market only blinks when the war affects international commerce.
So there you go. Right? It's between two strong or, one stronger, one weaker adversary, if you will.
No, it's when a commodity that benefits or has a demand worldwide gets affected.
Oil.
Not necessarily the country, but it's the demand that it gets affected.
Well, we're going to get affected, but what's going to happen is we're
Are
going to
you
take
affected
control
by the
over.
war right now?
No,
There you go.
I'm not.
But the markets are.
The market
right?
is
Because
as a
someone
whole.
is benefiting, right, on that supply and demand
Mm-hmm.
on a very complex economic market world. Right? Things are more complex today.
Let me be Argentinian.
before.
I don't agree.
Sure.
Let's hear it, Edmundo.
Economy.
He's a
economy,
capitalist and now he's going to disagree with it.
economy is so simple. Politicians make it difficult to confuse, as you said, some ignorant people. Economy is very simple. If everybody consumes oil, we all need oil.
It's in
Cars, heating oil, refined products, etc., etc., etc. And the Hormuz Strait is closed. 20 to 30% of the oil is not coming out. Of course, it's going to go up. It's not. We don't have to looking for the reasons of this, of that, economic equations. Economy is so overrated. Politicians make it difficult so they can create the illusion of a problem to resolve it.
Indeed. Problem, action, solution.
The economy is very simple, man. Very simple.
It is.
I don't have
Supply and demand.
The oil is up. I will have to put more dollars of my pocket into my tank. Therefore, I will have less disposable income. Therefore. That's it. It's very simple. Don't make it complicated. You can keep you, my friend.
Sure.
Thank you.
So, to his point, right?
Yeah.
The fundamentals are simple, right? The execution is very complex. It's almost an act of fate. Think about it, right? When you get out in the morning, right? You go and buy coffee in the city. Are you able to go and buy coffee in the city
Oh, yeah.
without problem, right?
Absolutely.
When was the last time you went out and tried to get coffee and they say, well, we don't have coffee?
Long time.
All right.
Long
When you went out and tried to get a piece of bagel or a piece of...
I've seen that. I've seen that. No coffee, I've seen that.
A piece of bread and there was no bread.
I've seen that.
So
I've seen that.
in the market, right, every single day, it is enough, right, to sustain or to supply that demand.
Right.
Interesting, right? So on something that is very simple, it also, the infrastructure of the logistics, it becomes very complex. That's the word, right? Like who's delivering, who's preparing it, what time is doing it, right? Because it has a life on those goods, right? An expiration date. So it's always the right amount is being provided or supplied. So that's what it makes it very complex. We need oil. Yeah, oil is raw material, but how many things derive from that oil?
Oh, many people don't know. My glasses, for
Thousands
example,
of it.
they have plastic.
Everything. Just
Oil. The microphone. The plastic
Absolutely.
components are oil.
And what is that?
The
That's
bottle
a-
you have over there. Oil.
There's a system at 72 hours, right? When it comes to the truck drivers or supplies that the grocery stores, the department stores have for stocking, right? And I think
Exactly.
it's like it's a special terminology behind it. I just don't remember what it was.
Oh,
It's about 72 hours.
I remember. In the past, let's say in the last century, in the 20th century, in the 19th century, companies used to have a lot of stock because you cannot predict the future,
But it
neither today.
began to be
But
pricey.
with technology, you are able to accelerate the prediction of all the chain of production.
Right.
Since the raw material is taken by somebody somewhere until the most exquisite, elaborated product. So how you increase your bottom line is by having the less stock possible, because there is a fluid supply chain.
That's right.
That was a big problem, remember, in COVID, the supply chain, because it's calculated to the cent, let's say
Exactly.
to the mile, if you want, when you're traveling the product.
And exactly like, for example, you guys were talking about, okay, oil prices being up and things like that. And this, it's a geopolitical tactic, right, that Iran has used over the years, okay? Because Iran's playbook is often described as a asymmetric warfare. Okay, what that means is the strategic depthness to avoid direct war when possible. They try to do it indirectly, and for that, they use the axis of resistance, which is proxy network. Edmundo was talking about it, right? So Iran built like a supporter loose coalition with across the region with different sects or axis of resistance, like Hezbollah, that's one of them,
Hezbollah,
right?
Hamas.
In the Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen,
Yeah.
right? I'm part of the Iraqi militia, right? The PMF networks. So those tentacles spread out even to Venezuela, even to Bolivia, right? You guys aware of that? They already have big presence over the years in those territories in South America.
Well, I remember when their agents bombed the Argentine Jewish AMIA Association, and when a year after they bombed the Israeli embassy, almost 150 people lost their lives in Argentina in the 90s, and there were indictments. Iran never want to send the people to the courts, and of course Argentina did nothing about it, but that's a story for another day. What I mean is, yes, in the region they had tentacles, or maybe
Correct.
they have. Well, the idea of proxy war is exactly what we started talking before. If somebody beats you in the street, paid by a thug on the other street, what do you do? Do you retribute the big thug, or are you 50 years or 40-something years fighting the little thugs that the other guy is sending? And that's, I think, is the problem. The problem is we don't address the root. I mean, Hamas, okay, financed by Iran. Okay, we fight Hamas. Okay, man, this is like a tentacles of an octopus. You're cutting the tentacles during 4 years. When are you going to go for the head?
Well, that's the consequence. That's the consequence of bad and weak policy, right? For many years, we
Lack
have
of stomach. Yes.
we have weak policy. Now, one of the things that we have right now with this government, right, is that there is no tolerance, right? You know it, and you don't know it. Now you know, right? It's not pretending anymore. It just is action. Action is being taken. I mean, you saw what happened in Venezuela, right? Zayn, he done it. Mexico, right? Indirectly, but it's pretty much just pressure. It needs to happen, and it did happen. Iran, it needs to happen, and it did happen.
The
Correct?
Panama. Nobody talks about the Panama.
Panama was a
channels.
big deal too, right?
The Panama
that was
Channel.
the first thing.
Nobody talked about the Panama Channel. It was under Chinese concession, the Pacific exit or enter, and the Caribbean. They have two points: enter, exit, enter, exit. The concessions were for Chinese companies, and this administration exercised a clause in the agreement that Carter signed with. Sorry, my Panamanian friends, I don't remember the name, but it was a great Panamanian president. And there was a clause or something like that that allowed the United States to take over. And this guy did it. They took over. And recently the Supreme Court of Panama revoked the concessions for the Chinese operators. Interesting. I mean, yes, now we see action. We may not agree, okay, because I receive calls and people tell me, hey, but you said, we may agree or not. That is beyond the point. Nobody can say that this guy is not taking care of business. Right way, wrong way, that's for you to decide. But there is a new sheriff in town.
You know, I don't think people addressing the elephant in the room.
And what is that? What is that?
US, right? So
What is the
there was
elephant in the room?
The elephant in the room, right? So our military, right?
What is that? The elephant in the room?
All right, because we are sitting here like they're waking up the giant, right? If you will, the sleeping giant,
Which who? Who's?
which is the U.S. military.
The U.S. military is waking up the sleeping giant?
No,
Okay, I'm confused.
no, Iran. Iran, right? Or Iran.
You
Iran
run,
is waking up the sleeping giant. You
Well,
mean?
anybody that's
you
poking a
run.
stick at
Who
the
runs?
beast.
You run. I run. You run.
We all run.
We run.
You're going to have to run, especially when you're dealing with the military of the U.S., right? And so there was a military personnel the other day did a presentation, right? And he said he doesn't care what you look like. If your father left you millions of dollars and whatever you believe in, what your religious background is, if you threaten the United States in any form or fashion that threatens death, if you will, someone else, this is what you're going to be, this is what guarantee they're going to give you. Someone else is going to be raising your children. And that's what he said.
Well, it's interesting
Yeah.
Loud
because
and proud.
Yeah.
after the Panama Channel, after what Trump says to the Europeans, after the first bombardment of Iran, if you want, a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
after Venezuela, after this, I don't think that any high government official, president, prime minister, king, queen, in any country have any doubt that the CIA or the Army or the Air Force know their exact location 24/7. I will be concerned. We are living in a different world, you know?
Indeed.
So we need to, if I would be a leader of any country, doesn't matter what country, I have to rest assured that the gringos or the Yankees, the Americans,
The Americans.
they know, whatever they call, we call ourselves. We know where you are.
No, we call Americans.
No, but in other countries, they don't call Americans.
That's
They
fine.
call estadounidenses, they call them gringos, and they call many words to us. I've been called SOB just because I live in America. So the fact that we know where everybody is at any time, and we have the capacity to send a missile, give it or take it in 10, 15 minutes, is something worrisome.
I think they downplay too much of United States in a lot of countries, right? Because we have, of course, the bad rep.
But that was a tactical war. That's why I was talking about that asymmetric tactic, right? Which is I buy time, I use my proxy, I do the crime on the difference, I create distractions, and because I'm on the distance, I say it's not my fault. And I keep buying time, I keep buying time, I keep buying time, right? And when they start praying, like the negotiators of the United States went down there, putting pressure, putting things on the table with guarantees to either say, all right, these are the conditions, you have to commit with them, and they just got out of the room and they just keep bluffing at it. It becomes so evident that they just were trying to. They were not serious, as they haven't been for 40 years.
Non-compliant.
Just buying time and rebuilding the military. You saw when they pretty much start attacking even their own neighbors.
Yeah, the negotiations lasted always forever.
Correct.
About the nuclear development, et cetera, et cetera. But in that equation that you cite, you're right, I agree, proxy wars, yes, they are thinking 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple. Today, with the technology that the Army, the armed forces in general have, the United States, you can wage war without boots on the ground.
That's right.
So you can bomb to oblivion somebody with surgical precision, which before didn't happen. So that equation of proxy war works as long as the government, the United States, or whatever government, really lack of stomach to respond.
Exactly.
People vote, and there's a phrase, famous phrase of General George Patton, great general, in my opinion, one of the best 3 or 4 American generals of history. He said, "You don't win a war by dying for your country. You win the war by making the other son of a bitch dying for his." So
That's
in
profound.
other words, if you can wage a war, because there is a great trauma here in America because of Vietnam, Iraq, how many good people we lost. If you can wage a war without boots on the ground, the casualties are reduced to almost none. Mm-hmm. There are 6 casualties. Six casualties we have. And if that is the case, you will not touch that sensibility in the American people. So that gives, the technology gives the power to wage war without casualties, or with very relative low casualties, so the war becomes more palatable. There was an interesting article about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. Like, and the other thing is the communication, because the public wants to know everything. And I don't know if you guys listened to Peter Hegseth, when he was giving his notations, and he was very emphatic, because some of this left media just keeps puzzling me into this, and they were like, well, give us the specifics of how long it's going to last, how many people. I'm like, we don't have to give you any information that's classified. We're going to act when we're going to act, and we're going to report when it's done. And I thought that was like so well addressed, right, and wise, because in reality, I mean, like, you're giving information, you're making it public for the enemy too, right?
Well, but that's something that happens in life, and nowadays we want to know everything. I have colleagues that tells me, "Oh, give me the target for that trade." I don't know. How long I will be in that trade? As long as it's needed. How much I will make? Well, depends on the market.
Well, the crystal ball. That's the crystal ball.
But
correct.
This is the same thing. People wants to know. They will have to have everything organized.
Well, they want to devote information that is also classified,
exactly.
Right? I mean, if you go into war, it's like, hey, tell us how you're going to attack them. That's not your business. Right. It's going to happen. Be aware.
Let
right?
me just get on a talk show and talk about our strategies.
Correct. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. What is your deployment of troops?
I know.
It's not going to happen.
Covert at all times.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what else, guys? I think we're just coming out almost.
That was a great topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will not talk about tariffs today.
Yeah, let's not talk about the extra tax.
It's all good. But just to end that the point, right? So one of the conflict, and you see the oil, is because of the pressure that they put in on Hormuz, right? Which is like kind of like energy choke point, and they're applying that on. That's pretty much that. They're just looking for leverage, but it's just measures of desperation.
They use the leverage since 1979, and they closed the strait a couple of times in different.
Because now they show the world, right? They show the world, and this is funny. Honestly, funny. It's interesting. You see, I have a good amount of Iranians, acquaintances, and friends. Number one, they're great people. They're great business people. They're amazing business people. They understand very well business.
Oh, yes.
And if you've seen what is Australia, Canada, like big amounts of
go to California.
pockets. Also
Great.
California, right? Big amount of them.
Business,
And they're all happy and they're claiming, right? And they're pushing because they're seeing that it's the first time now they really have a shot to take their country back, to go back to the homeland, to bring that democracy back into it. And all these other countries, either whether they disagree, like a lot of European community disagree with what the United States was doing.
France already surrendered.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, this is good.
I mean,
even the Germans were saying,
that it's
good.
a French habit. They surrender. And they come in on the same Saturday that the attacks start on Iran, they say, okay, we are observing the situation, but we have nothing to do. The French.
Makes sense.
Correct.
No, but I mean, yes,
Yeah.
they surrender
But-
again.
They say, hey, we're going to step back.
Yeah.
But the Middle East countries, they also start supporting it.
Oh, yeah.
Because now that they saw the regime went above and beyond their ideologies, right? Now they start killing their own people and their neighbors. They went like an act of desperation of terrorism, right? They just showed the ultimate act of terrorism. It's like, okay, now let's bomb all our neighbors.
Well, that's an act of desperation from the part of
Right,
of
correct.
Iran.
Well, you show your.
But you have to
you show
understand
the
there is
coin.
a there is a big
madness.
Yeah.
there is a
That
big
is just madness.
rivalry over there. You have the Gulf states, which are all, with no exception, monarchies: Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Oman, and Saudi Arabia. The six states. They are all Sunnis. The Iranians are Shia. Shia is pronounced Shia. And then you have the Alawites in Syria, which is a minority. But the important thing is that for them, specifically for them, Iran is a factor of lack of stability since 1979, all the time. So for them will be for everybody in the Middle East will be a great news to have finally political stability over there, right? Political stability brings economic stability, brings better lives for the people.
Right.
Because at the end, you have to see everything by the perspective of the consumer. I mean, I understand. I love my country, America. Just some of you, if you ask what country, because you asked me the other day. Yes, you. And basically, it's more important that beyond all of those feelings, that everybody has shoes, dress, roof, food. So at the end, that's the point. Stability brings the opportunity to grow better economies for the people.
Absolutely. 100%.
Correct. And yeah, I mean, I think that is coming to an end. I was talking about the big mistake that the previous administration made with that prisoner exchange that happened, I believe, in 2023, where they were exchanging 5 prisoners from the Iranian and also what we have. He made a terrible mistake, the previous administration, because on top of that, they free up $5 billion worth of funds.
Oh yeah, I
To
remember.
Iran.
Yeah, that was.
Wow.
Well, but that's okay.
Right.
That's the same thing we were talking before.
Correct.
Did we lose our stomach?
Yeah, that was back to
That's
your
the whole
point with that.
I mean, a little girl is kicking my knees. What I will do? I let her kick my knees, or I make an example.
I'm gonna give her a
of the
candy
girl.
so she can kick me more.
Exactly.
Right.
And also, when you're talking about the hostages, I mean, common sense. Come on, common sense. If you hold an American passport, common sense,
Yeah,
you know places that are hostile to our government, right or wrong, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Social, doesn't matter. You're American, you hold a passport, you enter a hostile regime. What do you expect?
correct.
Hey, there are places I will not travel ever.
Fire will burn you.
Exactly.
It's common sense.
Well, you know,
Exactly.
economic stability, we need it. So, and with all of this going on, inflation is bound to rise.
Inflation
It is,
is
yeah.
ticking a little higher.
More
We have
hike.
to see, because what you say is true. If oil goes up, that drags all the chain of supply in the economy. This is temporary.
I believe so.
That's a big, big question we have to answer. And is this the fix, or is just another conflict?
I believe that we're going through a period of time of human society. It's called labor pain or pains of labor, right? Before peace comes around, and
Get worse before it gets better.
yeah, we're going through that session.
Yeah.
Which is, it's actually optimistic. I'm very bullish right now in America
Right. Right.
on what is going on.
Well, we need like unity, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to tear something down to build it up to
Correct.
a better day.
We're back to common sense.
My-
We're back to common sense.
No, because
So-
you use the word unity. That I remember something that well, I will not say who, because this podcast will never go this. you will never be able to see this podcast. But somebody said that, what was the word you used?
Unity.
Unity.
Unity. Nothing unites people better than a good old-fashioned war.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
what's the saying too? Don't waste a good crisis, right? So
Ron, that was Ron Emanuel,
Right.
one of the closer
yeah.
guys from to
that's
Barack
when the
Obama.
power exchange
So,
happens.
remember in
there is a lot of
Chicago,
things happening, guys, and I think that probably we're going to talk about that on our next show
Yeah.
because geopolitical, right, economical, humanitarian, spiritual, everything is being reshaped. As for the last maybe 30 years, we were like slowly stomaching. So things are changing, right? A new, I don't want to say world order, right? But good senses are coming in. Things are getting redistributed. AI, right, is helping shape many things. So the next 3 to 5 years,
Don't get me started with New
things
World
are gonna change, right? A lot of opportunity because when change comes in, it's all about opportunity, right? Who is sizing the opportunity? Who is sizing the right opportunity, guys?
Right.
So
That's a big question.
make sure that you're on the right side of the table.
That's right.
That's what I say.
So,
right?
indeed.
Progress, you may like it or not, never disappoint. Go to the side of progress.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, with that, we're gonna leave you that, guys, with those thoughts. If you have any questions, comments, please share it down the link, and we will see you next week with Market Boys with Edmundo, Xzabko, and Andres. Stay tuned.
Thank you.